So looking ahead to the introduction of the Chinese Grand Prix this season, there isn't anything that I can do to build up my facilities or my R&D. Just as a reminder of what my R&D is looking like. Maxed out aero, chassis, powertrain, building out my durability to try and max that out at this point in time. But also, as I had said before, if I do not get any sort of facility upgrade for my aero or for my chassis after or by the end of this season, I'm pretty much walking away from this career, because I'm not willing to take a car season after season with no investment in it and try to win when it's even hard enough to try and get a top 10. And then we'll probably move on to do something else. Didn't even see how much Red Bull fell. Yeah, I didn't even see how much Red Bull fell looked at well. Yeah, Jesus, look at that. They're right down there with us. I have no idea what happened with them. So their engine, Red Bull have the worst engine on the grid. That's a shocker. Red Bull has the worst engine on the grid. Behind Haas, behind Alpha Tauri. That's crazy. What about Aero? They have one of the best arrows. So, I mean, that's not bad, right? Let me move this back over there. But yeah, you take a look at what I need as far as Spec 2 goes. That Spec 2 right there, Spec 2 right there, Spec 2 right here. Immediately, that opens up 5 things for the aero that I can build up, which are necessary. Are very much necessary that I need to build out and make this car better. And then as far as the chassis, we have the worst chassis as far as development goes, of course. Building out for weight reduction, building out for weight redistribution. That's Spec 2, that's Spec 3, but that's Spec 2. So, I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and very much so probably something in between there. So, at least 5 things that we could build out for the chassis once we get to Spec 3, or Spec 2, excuse me. But, like I said, it doesn't mean a thing until Williams actually decide to invest in it. And then take a look at the chassis. Yeah, that's the thing. Red Bull just have the worst engine, which is strange. But then again, you take a look and see where they are qualifying and where they're finishing. They're qualifying right around 7th, 8th, finishing around that as well, if not lower. So yeah, it really does come down to how powerful your engine is. And I mean, hey, we got ourselves a powerful engine. We technically have the best engine on the grid, but it doesn't mean a thing, once again, because of the aero and the chassis that have to go along with it in order to make it work. Alright, let's get into it. It's the Chinese Grand Prix. Let's try and put aside the unfortunate aspects of what we saw for iRacing and get right down to business with the F1 racing today. And it looks like that we don't have any sort of inclement weather, which is always good. Yet it is only going to be partly cloudy to a little bit of sunny on the race weekend, excuse me. So no worries about that whatsoever. Hey, what's going on, Carnes? It's going okay. As far as the Williams career goes, I actually did get a win last season at the French Grand Prix. Better strategy options. But other than that, it's been, hovering around 11th, 12th place for a good majority of these races, maybe 13th as well. But the AI controlling the Williams front office is not putting in the money into the facilities that I want them to, because I cannot build out my aero or my chassis at this point in time. I'm maxed out on both of them with a Spec 1 facility. The engine is Spec 2, but I've maxed out on that as well. The only thing I haven't maxed out is durability, which is built to Spec 2, but I'm just running through all the major components to build up. Suffice to say, if Williams does not put money into the aero or the chassis, I'm going to move on to something else. But I want to see how well I do this season with the limitations. You could probably say it's going to go about as well as what I did last season, but we'll see. We'll see. As far as my engine goes, that's right. Last race, I made sure that I had a practice engine as well as a race engine, so we're going to go back to that. What do I think of Shanghai? As far as the track goes, like with all tracks, there are parts I love and parts I hate, and honestly, the main part that I hate about the Shanghai track is that one tight left-hander that then hits the snail to go to the long backstretch. I can never seem to get that right. Speaking of snails, the turn 1, turn 2 snail as well, I can never seem to get that right as it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. It's like, where is the braking zone? Where is the speed to get that turn just right? I can never seem to get that. Overall, it's an okay track. It's average for me. I'm in the same position as George Russell, but I started out as Nicholas Latifi. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm in the George Russell position.
I've had a chat with Carl about the new parts, and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so give them a try.
Make sure the brakes, yeah, the brakes are all set to 100. We're good there. All right, let's get into it. Yes, track acclimatization. Oops, did not mean to do that. Hold on a second. Before I do anything, let me make sure I check that, and that's fine at this point in time. That's good. That's good. All right, let's get into it. Sorry, just had to check a couple of things on the back end. But yeah, Chinese Grand Prix. If I was in a little better car, I feel like I could be in a much better situation. But just with the car that I'm in, I'm kind of wallowing in the mid-table. What's that rattling noise? That's probably the plank. Actually, that sounds like the wind rushing. That rattling noise probably isn't rattling at all. It's probably just the wind. Come on! How the fuck did I miss that? I was right on it. How to control tire temps? Like, tire temperature doesn't really matter unless you're coming out of a caution, at which point in time you need to scrub your tires to make sure that they are heated up properly. But also, the only other time I would say watch out for tire temps is when it's starting to rain. Because of the fact that when it's starting to rain, you then need to monitor your tires like every lap or 2 laps to make sure that if while you're on slicks, you need to make sure that your tires are staying at the constant green temperature. If they start to blue, if they start to, turn blue, then you're not getting enough heat in your tires, meaning that it is raining hard enough and there's enough water on the ground that is going to justify you swapping from the slicks to the intermediate tires. That those are the only two times that I would say that tire temperature is actually worth a damn as far as monitoring goes. Every other time it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. So I think that just watch out when your tires start to blue because they get cold. And the only two times you need to worry about that are when it starts to rain and it gives you the indication of basically when to swap to inters, or when you're coming back off of a safety car, start scrubbing your tires, turning back and forth to make sure you get enough heat in them before you go back green. Those are the only two times I worry about tire temperature myself. I don't see, that's the thing. I don't look for numbers. I just look for the coloring on the wheel. Or the coloring on the tire. I cannot give you a proper estimate of range of temperature you need to keep it in because I frankly don't know. I just go by the graphic indicator. I just go by the graphic indicator right there. And I could just take a quick look at it and see if it is, starting to turn blue. And that would be my go-to indicator as to when I need to swap out tires if we're going about, talking about rain, or if I need to scrub my tires to get heat in them when we're coming back off safety car. But like I said, as far as numbers go, I cannot tell you because I honestly don't know. Well, that's your MFD, and you could scroll it. You could scroll with it on your controller. Just need to have your buttons set up to be able to scroll through that menu. Like for me on my wheel, I have a PlayStation button layout, so it's just basically the circle button. Even if you're driving on a controller, you should have a button prompt on your MFD to show you exactly what you need to get to that menu. Like I said, for me it's the circle button, which is right here, and fuck, I went over because I was starting to spin out. And that's fine if you do. But like I say, you're asking me certain numbers. I don't look at the numbers. So I cannot help you there if you want to know like a certain range that the temperatures need to be in. I just don't know. I always fuck that up. I always fuck that up because once again, it always comes back to me saying I should be turning in earlier, but I'm always scared to turn in early because, I'm just going to corner cut, and then I turn in too late, and then I go over on the other side, and it fucks up my entire lap. Like, I know in my head I need to turn in earlier than I am, but I always pause myself saying, if you turn in too early, you're going to cut the course. And I need to realize that it's not always going to be the case. I can turn in early and I won't cut the course. I'll be perfectly fine. See, like right there, that was like right on the edge of where I needed to be to cut the corner as best as I could without cutting the course. going a little bit too tight on some of these hairpins, too. Now, I'm not getting a good enough angle coming out of it. That's another thing. Cannot go on those rumble strips as I am making that turn. I go on that rumble strip, I am pretty much saying, please take me now, oh sweet death, because that is what I'm asking for. Because as we all know, driving on rumble strips is like driving on ice. So you try to turn on them, you try to accelerate on them, and your back end's just going to completely slip out. And you're going to have a bad time. So don't do that. I need to keep telling myself that because I always seem to do that. Hello, Lando Norris. Oh, wow, I got off that gas way too early. Way too wide. You hate the long left-hander in the middle of the lap, like, what, right here? The one that then opens up into this long straight? Break right before that 100-meter marker. Yeah, and I think it's that Aintree corner, right? It's right before the Wellington Straight. Yeah, this right here, the constant left turn, and then acceleration. Yeah, there's a copy of it at Silverstone, you're right. Like I said, it's the Wellington Straight. Aintree turn going into the Wellington Straight. Though that one's not as tight as this one is. This Chinese one is a little bit tighter of a turning radius than it is at Silverstone. We'll do one more here. And then we'll try and do the qualifying pace. Man, I'm just loving taking these turns too wide. Way too wide. Missing the braking zone. Gave Lando Norris a little love tap there. And then, yeah, I was going to say, speaking of turning in too early, I kind of figured I knew that was going to be turning in too early. Soon as I saw that turn in, I'm like, yeah, that's early. That one's better. It's a Tilka track. No, you're right. Tilka always likes making some crazy, crazy tracks. Man, how many has Tilka designed lately? Tilka's designed like a good 10 or 12, hasn't he? And hell, I mean, I just saw a video recently. I know it's actually a 2-year-old video, but Chain Bear. If you've ever watched Chain Bear, if you haven't, go check him out. But Chain Bear doing a video on Tilka tracks and how they're pretty samey. Yeah, I think Tilka's done like a good dozen tracks right now. He developed the Korean one. He developed the Bud circuit in India. He developed the Turkey circuit. He developed Coda. He developed this. Bahrain. Yas Marina. What else? Malaysia. He developed that one. Those are the ones that just pop out of my head. Because I know he's done... Oh, he did Russia. Believe it or not, he did the Russian Grand Prix too. Even though it doesn't really scream a Tilka track, he did the Russian Grand Prix. But yeah, I think he's done about 10 tracks that have actually gone on to be a Grand Prix circuit. So... And a lot of them do share very, very similar tendencies, like long straights going into hard braking zones, high speed to low speed S's. How many good ones? Oh, we could go through a list. If you really want to, we can go down a list of all the Tilka tracks and try and rank them. But then again, there are several tracks that I've not seen the racing at, so I can't really give you an honest opinion. So good really comes down to just being subjective to the user. Yeah, Bahrain and China are okay. I mean, they're not completely my cup of tea. But they're not out and out terrible. Yeah, no, Tilka tracks really don't like to get a lot of love. Sometimes for good reason. And like I said before, the one, if we're going by Tilka tracks in current rotation in F1, the one that I hate the most is Yas Marina.
Program complete and adjust.
Like, straight up, the one that I hate the most is Yas Marina. Bar none. List of Tilka tracks. So, for all the Tilka tracks that he has created, this is what we're looking at. And I'll show you right now. So these are all the tracks that he has either created or helped renovate. So he helped renovate the A1 ring, aka the Red Bull ring, into what it is now. He created Sepang, Malaysian circuit. He created Bahrain. He created Shanghai. He created Istanbul. He created the Singapore Marina Bay circuit. That I actually did not know. I did not know he designed the Singapore one. He designed the Valencia Street Circuit, designed Yas Marina, the Korean one, the Bud one in India, Circuit of the Americas, Sochi, Baku, and Hanoi. Alright, so right out of the gate, let's toss some of the bullshit tracks out of this list right away. Hanoi, Sochi, Yas Marina, and maybe Shanghai. Just toss them, because they're all fucking terrible. I would say that the redesign of the Red Bull Ring has really brought out the best in terms of high-speed racing. You want to see high-speed racing no matter where you go. And, hey, Red Bull Ring is pretty indicative of what modern racing should be. Fast as fuck, has good amounts of overtaking, which you do get a lot of that at Red Bull. I think that his redesign is a good redesign. Because you take a look at what it was beforehand, which was this. Doesn't really look all that great now, does it? Can't really say it looks all that great, but compared to the new circuit, yeah, I think that that's a very good redesign. Bahrain and Shanghai, we don't really need to go into. For me personally, those are good. As far as the ones that Tilka has designed, we'll say that those are probably some of his best ones. Maybe we can throw Circuit of the Americas up there as well. But yeah, Malaysian circuit, Marina Bay. I can't, like I said, Marina Bay, just throw it away. Sepang, if the rumors are true, and if they're getting rid of Vietnam to replace, or they're getting rid of Vietnam, and to replace that, they're bringing back Malaysia, I think that would be for the best. Because widely regarded, Sepang International Circuit is one of those tracks where I only hear good things about it. I've never seen racing at it, but I only hear good things about it. What's going on, Mint? So, I mean, it's actually a very, very flowy track. You take a look at it. Yes, you got the two long straights that end with the hard braking zone. Of course, very, very Tilka-esque. You got the very fast S's right here in turns 5 and 6. Couple of hard corners, hard braking zones like turn 4, turn 9. More flowy curves basically for the rest of the track. And you gotta say that Malaysia should have, and I don't know if it has in the past, but Malaysia should have some great races whenever Formula One went there. Like I said, I've not ever seen a Malaysian race. I've never seen anybody race there, so I don't know. But I've heard good things about it. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, I've only heard bad things when it came to the Valencia Street Circuit, and we can already take a look at this and say, what the fuck is this circuit on? It doesn't look good. Like, right away, it says that it has 25 turns. They're basically counting each kink in the road, especially here from 20 to 25. They're counting each kink in the road as a turn. Like with this right here, 14, 15, 16. 15 and 16 aren't really turns now. 15 definitely isn't. It's only just like a slight deviation of the road. But this is not a good layout of a track. It is just too start and stoppy. And I've only heard bad things. Like, on complete other end of the spectrum, I've only heard bad things about the Valencia Street Circuit. And it being narrow as hell, probably. Like I said, I've never seen it. So I can't really give it a full opinion on it. But I've only heard bad things about the Valencia Street Circuit. Taking a look at the history, they last raced it in 2012. Fernando Alonso won it. All right, so we move on from that. Korean. Okay, what are the other ones? So we got Korea and Bud. I think would be the last two that we because like I said, Circuit of the Americas I think is kind of decent. Sochi is fucking bullshit. Baku is okay. The way that Baku is laid out, it's okay. But the other two tracks that I've never seen personally, Korea and Bud. Korea, okay, Korea automatically reminds me of Malaysia, just with these two long straights back to back with hard braking zone. What was it? A very strong reminiscent of the Turkish track with this 456 little W chicane right here. It reminds me of the end of Turkey. Speaking of Turkey, 16, 17, 18, if this ever loads up here, which it doesn't want to, there we go. 16, 17, 18 reminds me of that long, quad, triple to quad apex turn of Turkey. It looks pretty solid. More flowy S's between 11 and 15. Overall, it looks like it's an okay track. It did get raced there a couple of times in F1 previously. Baku's awful for racing. Well, yeah, especially if you like, cars going fast down that 1 mile long straightaway. You like seeing overtaking. But it looks like that there are only two winners at the Korean circuit. Sebastian Vettel won it 3 times, and Alonso won it back in 2010. And that's it. That's pretty much it. But overall, it looks like it's an okay circuit. It looked like it had some okay racing, but I don't know. I've not watched it. Um, Once again, like kind of in the Valencia aspect of I've only heard bad things about it. Bud International Circuit, Bud in India. To be fair, and also Sebastian Vettel's the only driver that's won the Indian Grand Prix. He won it through all 3 times that was raced there. I only heard bad things about the racing. As far as the layout goes, once again it's Tilka-esque, 10 and 11. It's that turkey turn. 3, 4, 5. It's that long straightaway, hard braking zone, long straightaway type of deal. It doesn't really look like it was very well inspired as far as racing. It just looks like it was slapdash together and say, it looks okay. Just give it to the Indian people, and here's your Grand Prix. But once again, as far as the racing goes, it doesn't really seem like it had a lot of good racing, and year after year, it just had smaller and smaller crowds. Partly due to the fact that it actually isn't in the capital. It was supposed to be in the capital city, but it was placed like an hour or so out. So the logistical nightmare of traveling to this track was already bad enough as far as attendance goes, and then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until they decided to just get rid of it entirely. Um, it doesn't really look that good of a track. Like, I can't really see the flow of this track from one corner to another. Maybe if you take a look at between 3 and 6, I could see that flow there, and then it gets broken up into kind of like a bus stop area leading out to turn 10 and 11. But it doesn't really seem like it has good flow as a track. And also, I'm looking at it from a flat perspective. I don't even know if it has any elevation changes. Like Circuit of the Americas, turn 1, you go uphill and then make that turn, and then you're going back downhill. I don't know if there's any elevation changes to this track. I'm just only looking at it from a 2D perspective. But yeah, that's honestly all of the Tilka tracks that have either been built or renovated. As I may mention, the A1 ring, Red Bull ring, that was the only one that looks like it was renovated by Tilka before he then started building all these tracks. So we'll take that one out. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 technically, 13 if you do count Hanoi, but Hanoi has not been raced. If you do count it, Tilka has designed 13 racetracks. That's a lot. And some of them do kind of look like others. So you can definitely see the influence that he has put upon F1 nowadays. Especially the tracks that were not the street circuits, like the full actual road courses, stadium road courses that we have. But man, 12 tracks, 12, 13 tracks. That's a lot. That is quite a lot. Not even gonna lie. And hell, like, what was it? 4 or 5 of them are currently still in existence, that are currently still being run today in F1. That's a lot. That is quite a lot. So to say that Tilka has influence over how F1 is run is quite the understatement. Tilka's fingerprints are all over F1.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Who are?
It was only practice. Don't worry about it, Jeff. Let's remind ourselves of the top 3, but it was practice. It doesn't matter. Why do you care? Alright, let's switch out our engine. At this point in time, as I may mention before, we got our race engine, we got our practice engine, so I'm switching to the race engine. And of course, the difficulty, swap it up to 95, so we can qualify. Oh yeah, Yas Marina is just trash, and as I may mention before, if I was going to do a 16 race season in this game, Yas Marina is automatically gone. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are immediately getting rid of that circuit. There are no redeeming qualities of Yas Marina. But it makes F1 money. I don't care. It's bad racing. Oh, you say that because you can't race it. Well, number one, you're right, but number two, it's a bad track. There really isn't anything good to say about that track. Can I build anything? Oh, I'm 7 points short. I'm 7 R&D points short of building up another thing on the durability. I'll get it after the race then. Everyone's different. Everyone's different, Lizzie. You basically play how you feel like it is to be beneficial to you as to getting better as a driver, or how entertaining you are by the level of difficulty. And 95 for me, it kind of mixes both of those. It's entertaining for me as well as, you know, it tries to force me to be a better driver. Is it supposed to rain? I was about to say, it shouldn't be supposed to rain in qualifying. Like, if it said it was going to rain in qualifying, I would have laughed at the forecast, weather forecast again, because it's like, oh, you lied to me again. How many times have you lied to me already? I'm sure it'll also help you for R&D points, too. By doing that. God, I make that turn in that hairpin a little too tight. And always oversteer it. What do you mean by it's not that big of a deal for you anymore? I mean, it can't hurt you to get some extra reps around the track.
If you want to know specific information or make certain changes to the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over
It
the
never
radio.
hurts to get extra
Press
practice
and
around the
hold
track.
radio button to activate the system, and you can either speak the command or select it manually from the radio screen that will appear on the multifunction display. While the radio is active, cycle through command groups with the MFD button.
Alright, I'm 6/10 off. George Russell is the last man to enter into Q2 if it stays like that. So I need to go 6, 7, maybe even 8/10 faster. Which is honestly easier said than done. Uh... Stop hanging around the outer edge, Brian! Move up! I don't know why I was hanging out all the way to the outside. Also, very, very nice of me to do exactly like what I said I wouldn't do for I don't know how many streams. And miss the fucking turn every single time. I'm gonna be starting 18th. You miss the turn because you turn in too late, because you think you're not going as fast as you actually are. Yeah, wonderful stuff. I hate it. I hate myself. George Russell advances out of Q1 into Q2. And aside from me, both Alphas and both Haas's don't make it. Wonderful stuff. Now, I feel like I'm going to be using the same strategy that I had at Bahrain. I think I'm going to go soft to hard as far as strategy goes. I will say this, after looking back at the video from Thursday's stream, and then comparing it to last season's stream of, like, what was different as to why I got 7th then, and I only got 13th this time around, there was a safety car. There was a safety car that came into play late in the race, which came out when I was 7th, which allowed me to keep that spot, and it allowed me to block for, I think, only 5, 6 laps. It allowed me to block for as long as I possibly could to hold on to that position to keep those points. Whereas there wasn't a single safety car in the Bahrain race at all. Not a single one. So I didn't have that opportunity to try and block. I mean, I was blocking, but I just did not have the speed at the end of it. Everyone that was trying to do two-stop strategy, they went soft, soft, medium, or soft, medium, medium, and they were always going to have the speed compared to me and my Williams, which also was on hard tires. So
The end of the world.
that was the major difference between last season and this season as to why I didn't get points this time around. And that's why you live and you learn.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai.
I mean, also pretty damn good layout of a track too.
High-speed
Just
thrill
architecture.
Ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS
Mostly
zones will
flat.
assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1, and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14.
Where's the team still bad at? Chassis and aero, which is why Williams is not wanting to upgrade
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking
They're
up
not putting
after
money into it.
yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Sebastian Vettel, and Ricciardo, Gasly, Kvyat, Albon, and Max Verstappen, Perez, Sainz. They've taken a grid penalty. George Russell and Magnussen, Giovinazzi, O'Brien,
Ooh,
Roman Grosjean,
I moved up 2
and
spots.
Kimi Raikkonen. Ocon and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close.
Stroll and Ocon have taken grid penalties, so I'm starting 16th.
We just missed out on the points last race, so let's get some on the board here.
Alright, so they're trying to sell me on this strategy, medium to hard. I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of want to go soft to hard, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Madness, as far as R&D tree, we have the number 1 engine, as in relation to everybody else. Number 1 engine, number 2 in engine durability. We used to be number 1, but now we're kind of going back and forth with it. But the aero is second to last, and the chassis is last. Unfortunately, I can't upgrade those because I've maxed it out to the current spec. Now, engine durability and powertrain are at spec level 2. Aero and chassis are only spec level 1. And from what I could tell, Williams does not want to spend the money on either one of them. They're spending the money on the powertrain, which honestly at this point in time is the worst thing you could do, because I don't need it. I don't need to build that up to... Here's the thing, it's not even they're building it up to spec 3. They are building it out so that every single aspect of that facility is spec 2. All 4 of those things. Right now, 2 of them are at spec 2, 2 are at spec 1. But the fact is that the AI is not smart enough to realize, hey, these 2 aspects are maxed out, and they're only spec 1. Let's throw money into them so you can build out the aero or the chassis, so that the car can be lighter, the car can actually be more aerodynamically sound. But no, the AI doesn't do that. The AI is saying, let's just throw this all into the engine because, ooh, faster engine means we go faster. No! Well, yes, but at the same time, faster engine, if you give a fast engine to a fucking sailboat, with the sail down, it's not going to help you. No, I can't. Everything in the driver career mode is taken up by the AI. In your team career mode, when you're building your team from scratch, you get money, yes. And you can then decide which part of those facilities get built up. But since I'm in driver career mode, I only just drive. I don't build anything up. I drive and I build up the car with the R&D, but I don't spend the money. The AI on the back end spends the money. I can't do anything. What's going on, Massacram? Alright, let's take a look and see what the race director says. What is everybody around me doing? So it looks like most everybody around me are on medium tires. Albon and Verstappen also starting on mediums. I, as I may mention, would like to start on soft tires and then switch to the hards. So let's go into the strategy. Let's see how much this will actually help out, if it even will. It doesn't look like it will. Like, if anything, I come in lap 7 and go the rest of the way on the hard tires. It doesn't look like it's for the best. So, if I try that, it does not look like it's for the best. And two-stop strategy isn't really my cup of tea, personally. So, I hate to say it, but I think we might just have to go back and default strategy this. And I'd even say we could probably go one lap earlier on these medium tires. So we'll pit on lap 13 to switch out to the hard tires and then go hard tires the rest of the way. The leaders are probably going to do a two-stop strategy, or they're going to go soft to hard. More than likely, they'll probably go soft to hard. Because one-stop strategy is pretty OP in 50% races. So let's hope for this. Let's hope for the best. Because we all know the Chinese track loves to eat tires just in the same way Bahrain does. So, starting in 16th due to a couple of grid penalties behind me, where do you think I'm going to finish? Can you ask something? I don't know. Can you ask something? I'm playing the role of your teacher here from grade school. Well, Matt, that is not something that I needed to know. Dude, Raikkonen fucking clobbered me. God damn it. Raikkonen fucking clobbered me.
Confirm you're okay,
coming
please.
into the snail. Yeah, he clobbered me. Alright. That was an unfortunate spin out. Come on, people, move it! Come on. And the AI just gets slower and slower through that snail. And also, what is Lance Stroll doing? I can't wait till DRS comes into play. Oh, shit! God damn it, Brian! No, it's because they don't give you controller setups. It's just one setup for the track. It doesn't state if it's controller or wheel because they expect you to use it for both on F1 setups. Yeah, I know it is, Mazzy. I've done this for like 7 months. I still can't get it right.
Lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
As far as I can tell, everywhere that I've looked for setups, they don't differentiate between wheel and controller. They usually just make it for, you know, all in one. They say, okay, this is going to be for this track, whether it's wet or dry, go have fun with it. At that point in time, then it's your own personal preference and own personal tweaks that you would make for whether you want it to be used for a controller or a wheel. How you personally feel with it on a controller or a wheel. Oh, I'm good. I'm sorry, do you think that Grosjean scares me? Do you know who I am? We got Magnussen next. Now, if I can get close to him. If I can get close to him down the last stretch, I will pass him. Wow, did I really take the turn that wide? Was my turning radius that shit? On my wheel, it felt I was turning a lot tighter than what it was showing me in the game. And here again! Here again! I'm fucking turning it much, much more than what it's showing me in the game. And I did not change my settings for this wheel. I swear I did not change any of the settings on this, and it feels like it is not turning as much as it has in the past. That's really pissing me off.
Caution, caution. Some information on Albon. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car. Okay, clear.
Oh, can I? Yes, I do have that ability. Will I? One day. One day when I feel like it. I haven't done online stuff in, what, about a month now? A little over a month? Hey, you may want me to go online, but it all comes down to if I feel like I want to go online. Ferrari engine's been nerfed for a while, Madness, yes. Skills don't mean a thing if all you do is come across dickheads in online lobbies. At that point in time, skills do not matter. I have a relatively good record of finishing races. Relatively good record of finishing online races. Yeah, what's going on, Lee? How you doing, man? I know it's been a while since you've stopped by. Yeah, well, in my own time, Massey. And if I do online stuff, I will let you guys know beforehand. So yeah, I said I was going to come in lap 13, was it? Still off work and playing the new FM? Dude, I'm right there with you with off work, but crossing my fingers that's not going to happen in the near future. With the amount of interviews and the types of interviews that I've been having as of late. So, crossing my fingers, hoping to hear some good news. You having a good time with the new FM? been hearing from a lot of people that stop on by that say that it is better. And I mean, that's good for you guys, but I'm not really caring too much about FM, so I'm not going to get swayed to go back to it. But I have heard that it is better. God damn it. In fact, once I'm done streaming here, I'm probably going to play some Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That shit's the bomb right now for me. What's FM? Football Manager. I've got that damn Finn behind me. Bottas running hard on those hard tires. So he was one of those guys that is, in fact, doing the one-stop strategy as I thought he would. He would be going from soft to hard. Match engine is much better. Man, wasn't that something that all of us have been griping about for the last 3, 4 years, 5 years even? That the match engine just has not been all that good? And in some instances, you would say between like 18 and 19 has gone backwards. So wow, Sports Interactive actually listening to people. And fixing their shit when they should be fixing their shit. Maybe it'll make for some good content for later on. Some good content for all of them in the future. But no, if you have not played Assassin's Creed Valhalla yet,
You'll be on the hards.
I highly recommend it. It's a very fun game. Yes, it's very Assassin's Creedy, but I love the storyline. I love the gameplay to it. And you get to have some long ship battles and raiding. Because you're Viking raiders. Go pillage the English countryside. AC3 was not good. Yeah, it definitely was a step back after the Ezio saga. Black Flag, though, is a very solid rebound, though. So if you have not played Black Flag, I would highly recommend you do so. It's a much better game than AC3 was. However, the game that did it for me, that had me stop playing Assassin's Creed for a good long while, was Assassin's Creed Unity. The one set in 17th century France, 18th, 17th century France. That was the one that really got me off Assassin's Creed for a long while. because the amount of bugs and glitches that were just prevalent throughout the game, it was just not fun. It was just not a fun experience. So I missed out on playing Syndicate when it came out, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins. Never played those games. I do ultimately have them on my Xbox One, though. And can go back to them at any point in time, but I just heard more about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like it, as far as the game for the new generation, and of these games that came out for this console, Xbox One or PS4, yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla pretty much is the one that blows it all away. That pretty much is the best of the bunch that came out on Xbox One or PS4. So that's why I have played and have been playing that instead of going back to Odyssey or Origins, even though I do have it in my library. Alright, coming in next
George
lap.
is in the pits. George in the pits. In this lap, push now.
Yeah, Revelations, obviously, it was supposed to tie... It was the tire. It was the game that tied it all together. So you'd expect it to be good. And I say it was good. But was it the best game in the trilogy? No. I would say that Brotherhood was the best game in all of the Ezio trilogy. However, my video game history would tell you otherwise. I 100%ed AC2. I did everything there was possible to do in AC2. Brotherhood, the majority of the stuff in Brotherhood I didn't do was the online stuff. I played a few of the online, assassination missions. But, like, I wasn't too overly hooked on doing the online stuff. Also, the thing that got me after a while, as far as what I thought was a little bit of a plague on Assassin's Creed, tower defense minigames. Brotherhood and Revelations were really high on the tower defense minigames, and after a while, I just got so fed up with doing those missions.
Go, go, go.
It was a real fucking annoyance, more than anything.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Alright, so I came out in 16th. Oh, shit. I don't know why I keep forgetting to turn in early at some of these places. It's like it gets selective amnesia. Check and see if someone is doing a two-stop. I mean, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt someone's doing a two-stop. Leclerc looks like he's doing a two-stop. In fact, a good number of people are doing two-stops. So they're likely going to be doing soft, medium, medium. It could even be doing soft, medium, soft. Giovinazzi and Stroll have not pit yet, and they're on medium tires. They themselves should be coming in now. So I'll probably check and see in the mini-map to see if they are coming in. But yeah, Giovinazzi and Stroll should be coming in. But yeah, most of these guys all should be coming in, I would say, about what, lap 20? Probably around lap 20 if they're going to go on soft tires or maybe even medium tires to finish it out. So they'll be coming back in like lap 19, lap 20 to finish out their race. Hamilton and Bottas, though, going soft hard. They're not going to come in for another stop. So yeah, you got a good portion of people that might be doing another two-stop strategy. Yep, there they are. Yep, Giovinazzi and Stroll just went into the pits, as I called. Hey, what's going on, Bazzy? But like I said, it looks like that 8 other cars are going to be doing a two-stop strategy. So I could luck myself into points if I play my cards right. Just going to wear out that tape going back to certain parts. I just know it. Ah, get off the top, Brian. I just wasted precious tenths by just sitting up at the top. How'd the interview go, dude? I'm crossing my fingers. Because I have that unfortunate thing about me where I always get hyped up. I hype myself up so damn much over an interview, and ultimately it does not come to pass. But man, I really think I'm a good fit for this job. I won't hear about it until like next week, maybe even early the week after. But man, I'm crossing my fingers. I am crossing my fingers so much that I get this job. Because they like me, they like my work, they like my history of work. It's relatively close to me too. Man, I just want to get out of unemployment. I want to get back to working, man. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was bad. Alright, and I'm on my final warning. Next one is a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, George Russell, but also Max Verstappen holding 10th place. That's what having the worst engine on the grid will do to you. Oh yeah, FYI, people, Red Bull have the worst engine in my season right now. There's everybody's second round of pit stops. Most everybody's, I should say. I think there is still a couple more that are going to be taking their pits. So yeah, with 11 laps to go, 11 and a half laps to go, we are in points. But I mean, we were pretty much in the same spot at Bahrain, so it's not really much to write home about right now. I do want to get close enough to Russell I could DRS off of him. I've been missing that. And there's Leclerc and Norris coming into pit, their second pit stops. Vettel is out of the session.
Safety car.
Yes!
No overtaking.
Oh, we're coming in.
Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Safety car is out, and we are
Your
going to be
speed. Our
pitting.
delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Sebastian Vettel's car go boom. And we are going to be pitting for fresh soft tires. Oh, I hope that George Russell's not coming into pit as well. All right, we're in our pits. Is anybody else going to take the opportunity to get off of the hard tires? That's the question.
Go now.
Wow, nobody
Okay,
did.
We have to stop once now. One stop left.
Oh, no. Also, nobody came down pit road. Nobody came down pit road to get new tires. Not even anybody on the hards to come down to get soft tires like I did. Oh, I really hope I didn't fuck it up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
X-Mystic, thanks for the follow, dude. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I really hope I didn't fuck it up. I thought, honestly, this was going to be the right choice. Get off of the hards onto fresh, soft tires. Like, you would think that's the play, right? Maybe it was just too late in the race. That's honestly the only thing I can think about is just it was too late in the race to do it. Because we got 9 laps left to go. We're probably going to go green with 8 to go, maybe 7 to go. Kimmy is also so far back, he is not going to make the pace lap.
Pick up the pace a touch, please. We need to close to within 10 car lengths of the car ahead.
Yeah, Kimmy is so far back, he is not going to make the pace line. Hey, we're going to have 7 laps. 7 laps of straight drag racing down the backstretch. Right, we're going to have 7 laps of drag racing down this backstretch. And yeah, safety car is coming in next lap too. So we're only going to have 7 laps to do it. Which means DRS is going to open up on lap 24. Scrubbing these new tires. But like I said, most everybody in front of me are all on hards, so I should have some sort of speed advantage. You would think I should be on some sort of speed advantage compared to everybody around me. And hell, yeah, you're talking about a Gendo bomb? Maybe the fucking snail is where I do it. Remember, I have 1 flashback left in my arsenal. So I gotta be careful when and where I use it.
Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Why?
Copy.
No, man, that's because I thought I was in the right with that.
Green flag.
I thought I was in the right with that one. And unfortunately, China's really not the track of good restarts. Just with the way that it's laid out. Yeah, China's not really a good spot to get a good restart out. Though I could try to do that every single hairpin. If I do that every single hairpin, I could finish 11th. Come on. Come on, you son of a bitch.
Your front wing.
Well, yes, I know my front wing is damaged. Alright, that's my last flashback. Driving dirty, it's the Gendo way. This is the way. We're up into 14th.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
At this point in time, Mint Seeker, that's what I gotta do. Oh, send it. I got 4 laps and I gotta make up 4 spots. Feasibly, I can make up a spot at the hairpin every lap. Oh, if I just don't fucking... I just fuck up the S's, of course I did. What's going on, Wolf?
Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
Toro Trucks was nothing to write home about there, Wolf Gamer. So you didn't really miss much there.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
No, he has not, surprisingly. Gear. Stroll and Magnussen right there is going to be juicy going down the backstretch. Little love tap to Stroll there. Nope, Williams has not given me any help so far this season. Alright, come on. I gotta pass one of these two schmucks. Bye-bye. I have no regrets. No regrets about that fucking turn. And oh hey, look who's in front of me who I gotta fight for points. It's my guy. It's George Russell. Look who it is who I gotta fight off for a 10th place spot. Yeah, Gendo United Baseball could be a thing. Gendo United Baseball Club. Instead of FC, it's a BC.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Legend Fire, or Legend Fee, thank you very much for the follow, dude. Hope you're doing well.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
There are 2 laps left to go in this race, and I'm 2 seconds behind Russell. Turkey Magic couldn't do the trick. First race at Austria couldn't do the trick. Nicholas Latifi getting 11th place there as well. Remember that. Hit torpedo and be a lot cooler if you did. Someone mentioned Kvyat, he's probably in the top 10. Oh, I am within a second of Russell, but it doesn't matter out here. Only matters in the DRS zone. I'm not gonna get him. I'm not gonna get him unless I just fucking ram into the back of him going into this turn. I'm not gonna get him. Yes, I know there is a way to remove a halo. Thank you. I choose not to. Damn it. George Russell's going to get the point. Williams finishes 10th and 11th.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Ah, well. Couldn't get it. But it's okay, we came close. The strategy just about worked.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud.
Put a banana peel in front of him.
Talk
Yeah,
to
that
the
would have been
amps.
nice.
What was
Mario
it that
Kart
set them apart from the competition
just shoot a
today?
banana peel up
Well,
there.
I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to
Yeah,
back
so
that,
close,
you're
yet
never
so
gonna get
far
anywhere.
away there, Elvin.
When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car.
And then what happened to
that's when
Gasly?
you see
Gasly
results
finished
like
in
those
9th.
we've witnessed today.
Kvyat was probably ahead of him.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be
That's your
plenty
podium.
of celebrations tonight
Bottas,
amongst
Hamilton,
the Mercedes team.
Sergio
And
Perez
they
is your
certainly
podium.
deserve it.
At least I didn't crash under a safety car. Yes, that is correct. I did not, in fact, pull a George Russell, which is always good. You never want to have that happen. And, of course, the moving up to a brand new level. Brand new series, brand new levels. Brand new gear to get. I don't really care about the gloves. I don't really care about actually most anything in this series, to be honest with you, because admittedly, the liveries are the ones that I care about, and the liveries are very, very average this series. So I can't even say that I want to go and try and get these liveries, in all honesty. Alright, but outside of your podium, you got Max Verstappen in 4th, Leclerc, Norris, Ricardo Sainz, Gasly, and Russell round out your top 10, and I was just so close, yet so far away. Hey, we at least made a few dive bombs that ultimately did not cost me as far as losing a front wing. And there was only one time that I tried and I had to use that final flashback. That was, of course, you know, when I was making the double pass on both Kvyat and Magnussen. That was the only time that I had to really use the flashback, and because I took damage. So I would call the entirety of the dive bombs that I did an absolute win, even though I was so close to getting points and didn't get it. 11th place, myself, Stroll, Magnussen, Kvyat, Grosjean, Ocon, Giovinazzi, and Raikkonen are those drivers that finished. Vettel and Albon, your two DNFs, with Vettel the one bringing out the safety car. See, here's the thing. If I stayed out with the safety car, yes, there would have been 7 laps to go. It would have been another situation of I need to block like my life depended on it, just as Bahrain last season. And to be honest with you, with all those people getting fresh medium tires, they were all going to pass. Like, let's be honest here. They were all going to make the moves on everybody that had hard tires. In fact, let me show you the race director and show you exactly where everybody in the hard tires finished to where everybody in the medium tires finished. So everybody that was on the hard tires, they were sitting up near the front, of course, and they finished basically 10th and below. With the only exception being me, because I finished on the soft tires. But everybody else that pitted for those fresh mediums that, you know, made the 2-stop strategy, they finished ahead of those that pit for the fresh hards. So that's why I went and did the soft tire strategy, because I knew I was not going to keep that position. There was no way, blocking for 7 laps in a track like this, there was no way I was going to block and keep that position. So I made the smart, I gotta say, this was going to be a smart idea of getting those soft tires. And I almost made it work. I got back from 17th up to 11th place. And ultimately just missed at the end. But it was close. Oh, the long straight works wonders. Yeah, absolutely. If you have yourself a good solid engine, or a car that has a good solid engine, you use that to your advantage. That's like the same thing with the Dutch Grand Prix, coming off of that last turn, going down into turn 1, that DRS straight. That's pretty much where I make all my overtakes and where I have done most of my overtakes for position to get into points. If you saw back in my team career mode, that was, shit, where was I at the start of that? I was like 16th. And then I just every lap would find a way to DRS, overtake, and rich fuel somebody that going into turn 1, I would be able to overtake them as I was going into 1 to get that for position. I finished in 6th in that race. I went up 10 spots just doing that strategy, which honestly, that's probably the best strategy on that track because there really is no other place to overtake on Zandvoort. It really is, you got to overtake using your power, coming down the last turn, picking up speed, DRS, overtake, rich fuel, go down to turn 1 and make your move there. It's pretty much the only way that you can overtake at Zandvoort.
Day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly,
And
making him an
constructor
easy pick.
standings.
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas.
He got points,
a
though,
commanding
at least.
performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully